Hello, fellow seekers and self-explorers. Today I am excited to share with you a tool that I like to call the Shamanic moonstick. So the name is Le Bâton de Lune in French. This is actually something I heard from in France, and I like to translate it with the Shamanic moonstick. So let's get to it. I'm so excited about this. So basically, I heard about it about a year and a half ago from my mother. I was sharing with her that I was going through kind of intense PMS. I used to suffer very difficult PMS, like a week before my period, getting really irritable and in pain, and it was very, very intense. And it has been better as I started my healing journey. But recently it started to feel like the old times, and so my mother shared that she had heard from a friend of hers this tool called the Shamanic moonstick, and I was blown away at the idea. So I decided to give it a try. I know you're like, what is this about? I want to see, I want to know. So before I show you my actual Shamanic moonstick, let me explain to you what it's about, what the idea is behind this tool. So basically, and I know it feels like it's more for my fellow sisters here going through PMS, but really we can expand also, right? So for you guys out there, you can share with the women in your life, but also why not explore that tool not only for PMS, and you'll understand what I'm talking about here for a second. So basically the idea was to go and pick in the woods somewhere, go and find a stick, a branch, a piece of wood. So that's the first step. And more than going out and picking it, let it pick you, really. This is what happened to me. So that's the first step. And then once you have it, once you found it, what the tool is to the very first day of your period, for you ladies, the very first day of your period, to take some time to decorate that moonstick. So you sit with yourself, you find a quiet time and space to decorate that moonstick, that piece of wood, however you see fit, whatever comes to you, right? Whatever you have at hand. Be creative. There is no limit there. So that's what you do on the very first day. You decorate a part of that wood stick. And then on the very first day of the full moon, you place that stick, that branch outside so it can bathe into the moon. So if you have a home, great. I live in an apartment, so I put it out on the balcony so it can bathe into the moon for the whole night, the very night of the full moon. So that's the idea. And you repeat the process every month. So the idea behind this is to decorate every month and be aware. My channel is about self-awareness and mindfulness. So be aware of your process, what goes through your mind, what emotions you go through, the stories that are going through you as you decorate your moonstick. And after a 12-month period, so it's a full cycle of doing that for 12 months, then you burn it to release what no longer serves you, to release everything that you worked through that year that no longer serves. I loved the idea so much that I decided to try it for myself. And I mean, I don't want to spoil the surprise, really go through your own process if you feel called to do it. Because it was so amazing for me, that experience, and I actually have it here, so I want to show it to you guys in a second. What it did for me, first of all, just deciding, committing to doing it was already very powerful. Made me responsible, taking care of my own health that way, and deciding to make a change, deciding to explore this. So when I went out to pick that Shamanic moonstick, first I had this idea because I had seen pictures. I started to Google it. Is that a real thing? How do people do it? And I saw, so I had in mind, I was kind of looking for a big, thick piece of wood, something of a certain length that would look a certain way. Didn't happen like this at all. I found, that's what I'm saying. I didn't really find it. It kind of found me. And that's the beauty of it. So I went out in a park and I found a really woodsy area, and I just, let myself be guided. And when I saw this piece of wood, which was way thinner than what I actually wanted, and it had a little like fork like this at the end, but I knew this was the one. I knew it. I felt it. It was calling me. So I got it, and that was already very exciting. And then, just to share a little bit of my process, so you see everything that can unfold doing this, the very first time I was actually expecting, I was waiting for my periods to arrive, which usually I was dreading it because I was going through a rough time with them. I was excited. I couldn't wait to start to decorate my moon stick. And that's what I did the very first time, very first month. And I'm going to show it to you now. So this is what it looks like. It's been a full 12 months that I've done it, that I've worked at it. So here it is. See? I'm going to show you the full length of it. All right, so see, that's a long piece of wood. It doesn't have to look like this at all. This is not at all what I expected. But now, going through the process of it, let me leave it here. So there you go. Going through that looks weird. Let me do this. Okay, so going through the process of it, first awareness moment that I had, wow, just placing my intention differently, getting excited at my period, having my period, I already honored that part of me instead of dreading it and fighting it. Already that was very healing. And then a lot of awarenesses arrived as I was doing it every month. Like, for example, this was what I started with, kind of, maybe the first 2 or 3 months. And maybe on the third month, I realized that I was not having fun anymore. On the third month, I didn't want to I was kind of dreading, it felt like work. It had to be perfect, and I wasn't sure I had enough a fabric to play with this, and I didn't know what to do. And I realized that I was not having fun anymore. And that needed to look perfect. So that made me see this about myself. As soon as I realized this, I switched completely. And I had some wool fabric, and I'm like, let me do whatever. And I ended up, it looked like a little flower. I was not planning ahead anymore. And see how much softer it started to become. So that was another beautiful awareness piece for me of realizing, oh my God, hard on myself. How can I maybe practice something a little softer? And I had more fun with this. So I went through phases like this. I'm not going to go through the whole 12 months of my process. Yours is going to be completely different, but I still gain haha moments and awareness moments with this beautiful moon stick. So just to show you one also. Okay, so that's a cool piece too. Maybe on month 10 or something, I saw I was doing so many pretty little things and pretty little flowers, and I had so much fun. And then I'm like, what about if I try to do something that I judge ugly? So look, I did this, like kind of an ugly face, and I had fun trying something different, right? So this really what it's about. Another piece that I want to share with you guys. I spent, I don't know how much, maybe a few months, I kept going back to that part, 3-4 months. Every time I would go back there trying to fix it because the fork actually broke. And now reflecting on it, I was trying to fix a broken part. Now I get the awareness of it with the step back. So everything was so powerful working with this shamanic moonstick. And I'm going to finish with one last little story about this. The 12 month actually finished, I think in January, something like that. And we're in May. So another very cool thing was since January, I've been with this moonstick and I'm supposed to burn it. And I was observing myself coming with all those stories. I can't, I'm on the balcony. We can't really burn it here. How am I going to do? And there was always, whenever I would find an option to burn it, something was in the way and it just didn't happen. So I'm here with this moonstick, and the stories that I've been feeding into for the last few months was, okay, it's all my resistances in letting go of what no longer serves me. And I was feeding into that story for the last few months. Is it true? I don't know. But that was the story that I was creating until my beautiful husband, thanks to him again, all those little wisdom notes that he throws constantly here and there. He told me, it was last month, he told me, oh, that's actually awesome that you didn't burn it yet, because you can do a video about it. And I was like, he doesn't understand. He doesn't realize that it's not that at all. It's all my resistances. I don't want to let go. That's why I don't want to burn it. And it took me a few days to sit with this. Like, if anything, I'm resisting the idea, his wonderful idea. And actually, I can change that story. I can totally create something new. And thank you to my beautiful husband again for that wisdom, because I realized I have the power to change that story and make a very cool one, a new one about it. And that was the theme of my last video that you're going to see. You should see appear here if you want to take a look. That was called The Power of the Beautiful Stories We Create. That's what we do. We're beautiful creators. So that's really what I wanted to share with you. That a video about create something. You can create something new and have fun with it. And there is so much power in creation, in all the stories and beautiful tools we create. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little piece. That makes me think of creating in my YouTube channel, like a creative corner with actual creative tools, because I love to create things and try new things. So see how inspiring that is? From a story of, I don't want to let go of things, I'm resisting change. No, something amazing is coming out of it. So I'm so grateful that I didn't burn it, because I got to share that with you before I do burn it. So thank you guys for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll try that shamanic moonstick for yourself and explore. Have fun, everyone, and I'll see you next time.